All right, and our audio should be live. We're just staring at our co-pilots here of Toby and Bruno. But yeah.
Okay.
I'm seeing people pop up in the chat, so I think we're committed to doing this.
All right.
All right.
Looks like we're doing it.
All right.
Afternoon, Odin.
Afternoon. We're back. No sound or sound now, right? Hello.
Puppers. Hi. Wow.
Yes, and I see Waynard's back, yelling out Pico. That's a friend. Hello, hi. I'm Odin, and
I'm Felicia.
Welcome to our live stream. Yes, and I almost walked all over you giving your introduction. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're not used to a second person being here.
True. We're just admiring the names in the chat, and I see Waynard has popped up. Now, Waynard and I go a ways back. Waynard and I worked together at a place called Play Incorporated back in the late 90s. And yeah, Pico, a lot of fun, goofy guy. And Play was that place where I was first doing internet live streaming video in the 90s, using a PC that would crunch it onto 56K dial-up that could be sent out and watched on your real player. That's how long I've been on the internet. How's it going? But anyway, this is the current live stream, not the past. And Felicia and I are here, and we're going to be working on continuing the Witcher armor project. It's been a few weeks. We've been working on the chainmail pads for the shoulders. Yep. And it sounded like you wanted to continue with those today a little.
Well, yeah, we got to kind of finish those up, but
wanted to start actually working the clamshell armored chest piece, which she's going to have, pass off onto me, which is cool. I'm totally cool with that.
But started patterning it.
You started patterning it. Yes, I
have not worked on this at all outside of this. This was literally 15 minutes before we started. Nothing special. I promise. This has all been on this.
It's all been on this. We set up right. We bring stuff in. We find what we're working with, but haven't really done anything for setup other than what you see is what you get. This is a WYSIWYG project. How's that?
The box has been here since last time.
Right. The box has not been unpacked.
Except for added this to it.
Right. Well, we went and found the pattern that you had made based off of the body cast that we did previously. There's a video on the channel already with the two of us making a body form off of another cosplayer, and so we've got a body form. We're going to be making the armor to be able to fit this, because we're also going to make sure that it's got a little bit of flexibility so it can fit other people as well, because it's not made just for this guy.
It's a generic size large.
Generic size large. There you go.
With some flexibility in there.
That's what we're going for. But this gives us a form to work with that's more appropriately sized, because I'm not appropriately sized, and we want a size large male. And
then this is just a pattern that I kind of lifted based on this dress one that I had figured what we would do for the top versus the bottom pieces. Blown out bright white, but
yeah, that's what happens. So
this is our master pattern, so we're just using this to trace on to make our pattern that we're going to use for foam.
Right, and you can see here why I use brown paper a lot. Here's the video thing. You see how this isn't blown out? I mean, it is a little bit blown out, meaning that it's too bright and the cameras can't see detail. You should still be able to see some of the pencil lines here. That's because this paper isn't white, so it isn't reflecting all the light back into the camera. Because unless you allow a camera to mechanically dilate its eye like your eye dilates, when it gets too much light, it just can't see anything anymore and it blows out. So using brown paper, or you see late night television uses a light blue paper. That's why, because it's better for the camera. Overall, you don't shoot bright, pure white stuff with a camera, especially older tube cameras, because.
Yeah. And that's just from a roll of butcher paper I had.
Yep, of course.
White, so anyway.
This is painter's paper, just from the hardware store. This is the way it comes.
Yeah, that was free for me, so I don't complain.
Yeah.
It's what you got, right? There's no right way. So anyways, I wanted to get started on this, but I also wanted to just kind of finish up these.
Right, these. Now, while we were drinking coffee and getting started here in the morning, you had talked about how you liked the feel of the actual foam part.
So much better than I like for the felt. Now, the felt was a great experiment, and I love that I could sew through this stuff, and I can make patches, and I could incorporate this easy into any sewing project. But I just really think that this has more of the armor feel.
Okay.
And more of that computer-generated feel.
Definitely. Now, I'm sure there's members of the SCA and other people who wear live armor that would argue that a felt back with a metal chainmail is actually more accurate.
Yeah, but this feels right, and I like it better.
Okay, cool. That's great. I'm cool with that.
I pinned it on the top edge, and I stitched it on these side edges, which is all a little janky anyway, so we're just going to glue it. So I'm going to rip it out and put it on, just glue it onto a new piece of.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just kind of continue from there. But I wanted to let you all know that I changed my mind.
All right. And this was just craft foam, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This wasn't even
It wasn't even the special stuff. So we need the special stuff for our clamshell we're making, but we just need the regular stuff for this.
Okay, no problem. There's still, I think it's on the other side of the room.
You can grab that. Do you need this cut out before you start, or were you going to do any pattern adjustments before we began?
I wasn't going to do any pattern adjustments, really. Right. I was just going to cut this out and start working on it directly from this.
Oh, cool.
Unless on this, because we had talked about easement. We were putting this over the body form to make sure that pieces were going to fit. And it looks like if I cut this particular shape directly from foam, it's going to work. So.
All right, I'll cut out the pattern if you want to get me more foam so I can change these out, and then I'll rip this apart.
Sure. Well, I'm going to walk away with the microphone, so if you're not going to be heard. So if you need to curse and swear wildly, then right now is the time. Where's your scissors, she says. Now, I don't remember. Were we able to get 2 out of 1 sheet?
I think we were.
Okay, good.
But these ones are slightly bigger, but I think it still fits.
Okay, because with the 5 mil, I'm only finding 1 sheet.
Yeah, we're fine.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can have this almost done.
Let's see what the viewers have to say. We got love from India. Right on. Hello, all of India. Well, not all, but one particular viewer from India. Hi. Hitman, yes, she is standing on an apple box because the table height is made for my height, so it's great. So it's a little tall for her. So she stands on it's called an apple box. It's a typical thing you use for filming. It's not actually an apple box. It's just a series of square plywood boxes that nest together or are of fractions of a height. You got a full box, a half box, a quarter box, so you can stack things. Anyway, she's
I'm
standing.
short, and I can't reach or function at this height. So
because the table's too tall.
It's too tall for me.
Yeah.
And if you shorten the table, it's too short for you.
Right.
So
yep.
Either this or high heels.
That's probably better.
Portable platforms, right?
Jacob Obert, I haven't been able to see any of these streams. What outfit are you making exactly? We're making the generic vanilla starting armor for the Witcher 3 video game specifically is what we're after. So this is Geralt's armor where it's a hard top with a bit of a chainmail. What is it? What's the centerpiece called? Yeah, one of those. And with the chainmail pads on the arms. I wanted to call it a corset.
Yeah.
Actually I was going to call it a girdle, but corset was what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I was thinking more corset because that sounds better than
waist armor.
Than what Captain Kirk wore. Yes. Okay. So it's we're working on the base, but we're only really doing the top. The whole impetus, the whole thing that started this project was getting the foam chainmail from Foam Armory. Then Betty Edie was nice enough to send me a package of this stuff, and we got to play with it. Just last week, William Shakespeare on the William Shakespeare channel did King Arthur's helmet from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, because the whole back of the helmet, because his helmet's kind of a crown helmet, but the whole back is chainmail. So Jake made a set using this material, and it's actually very, very cool, because It's 2mm EVA foam. It's craft foam. It's very soft. Ben has a die cutter that cuts the sheets. So you just pop them apart. All it is, it's a single length of chain, so it's a full round on one side with like a loop that connects each round. And what you do is you fold one of the round portions in half and feed it through another round portion. And you keep doing that in the same direction, and you end up with chainmail pieces. And this is all the stuff we're trying to figure out how to use it. But it's like any other chainmail. It takes some time to make it all work. So you got your bumps at the top. You can kind of see against my arm, and the loops on the bottom of the way I'm holding it. It can go either way. But as you feed it through each other, you end up getting a full sheet of chainmail. I'd go closer to the camera, but it'll go out of focus. Does that help? I can't quickly focus the camera for you guys. It still requires labor to put it together because it's chainmail. Chainmail is labor. That's the trade-off. But it works really nice, and it's really very cool.
It's very fun to play with.
It's very fun to play with.
And we did it all live, so the other streams are, half of them are it's just putting the chainmail together.
Right, it's just putting the chainmail.
I
I actually realized I hadn't had a playlist with the live streams on it. So I'm going to create a playlist. I already kind of have, but this is the only video in it, sort of. But I will populate that with the previous live streams that we've done. So if you guys really are jonesing for a previous 6 hours of two people doing some sort of banter with dogs, you'll have the ability to watch that. I think.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. That was kind of the plan. Oh, sorry. Just Googled it. It looks simply complicated or complicatedly simple. It is complicatedly simple, yes. Absolutely. It's actually a pretty brilliant idea, but it's still a chainmail. You have an interlinked thing, so yeah, it is complicatedly simple.
You can do it as a jersey knit. You could do it as a garter knit. It's really amazing if you know how to, which way your loops go to cause the effects that you need it to use. Anyways.
Yes.
I geek out on it.
It's great. Please do. Oh, this is cool. Mr. Bentley is catching me up, saying that if you weren't here in the last stream, we talked about making another channel for action figures and other things. No, I don't remember that at all. I don't think I was here for the last stream. Oh, wait, he's talking to someone else. Northeast or North 34th, North 34th Street, one or the other.
That's where my old high school was.
Oh, really?
On 34th Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know of Miracle on 34th Street,
Well,
but
it was the 34th Street Dancers was the dance crew. Anyways.
interesting.
Yeah.
My high school was in Del Oro. It was on Taylor Road.
Oh, we're in Sacramento. I went to Sac High.
Yeah, there you go. Mine was up in Penryn or Loomis. Anyway, he's asking about making creatures or character busts instead of props in the channel's future. North 34th Street, that's a good possibility. I haven't done as much sculpting as I maybe should. I don't know if that's quite the right word. Should isn't exactly it. Basically, I'm not as comfortable with my sculpting skills, especially with recreating something that looks exactly like something else. I get really overly critical on myself with my ability to do. You know, monsters, though, is different. Monsters could work. I should probably shut up and start. Well, it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of talking to people and a little bit of getting stuff done. So I'm going to make the chest armor out of What the Foam. What the Foam is from Cosplay Apprentice. This is actually literally what Cosplay Apprentice says is if EVA Foam and Warbler had a bastard child, that's what the foam is. It is a very good mix of the two. And it's much stronger. It can hold its shape better. And it's very cool. The 2mm thick What the Foam is able to hold and support the weight like a 6mm EVA foam. And the 2mm What the Foam has the tear strength that you can actually use it as straps.
And we're going to use it as clothing and armor, so I'm really excited about that. That you can actually use it as, like, wear it, because I feel like it's a really cool material, but
it is.
It just tears at the seam, and then it sucks, and then you're upset because you did all this work for it to...
For craft foam to just tear at the seams?
This stuff doesn't...
No.
Kind of reminds me of, like, a giant eraser that doesn't erase, you know?
Kinda.
Just like...
It's interesting. It has a really rubber smell to it when you're grinding it, sanding it. It'll really kind of start to smell like. So I think there's a good portion of rubber, like latex type rubber, but maybe not latex. I may be saying the wrong terms. You know, I hope Skylar doesn't get upset with me.
There's some kind of
but there's something
plastic
to it
polymer in there that gives off a certain scent.
Yeah, and the other neat thing with it is, to me, being, you know, I like how things are made. Go figure. My channel sounds like how it's made, right?
Yeah. I watched that show for sure.
So EVA foam and poly foam, the couch foam, I'm pretty sure are both cast into large blocks that are then cut on a bandsaw. I've actually seen this done at an upholstery foam place, the manufacturer that was here in Sacramento at one point. What the foam doesn't look like it's done that way. This has marks on it like it's hot rolled, like it's a large puck of material that is then rolled out to be 6 mil, because it's got this pattern on one side only, and it looks like it's mashed out to be this thickness.
I'm just imagining the machinery now, like if it's really,
Right.
you know, when they do make the rubber for like the pencil erasers and stuff, and they have those little kneading machines, and then it squishes it out.
Yep,
That's what I'm
yep.
imagining.
Probably very similar. I could be completely wrong, but looking at the evidence in the foam, I think it's hot rolled, and I think that's kind of cool. That's the whole reason I bring it up. I'm certainly not upset with this product at all.
No, I love it. We're gonna use it. We're using some fun stuff today. We got the chainmail. We got the creme de la creme of
Right.
foam. Oh, there you go.
Okay, may I have a couple 1, 2, 3 blocks? Here we are. I just need to reach down in front of you, so. Trying to be nice.
Oh, good. That's good.
Bleeze 39. Toss a coin to your Odin. Oh, Valley of Cosplay. Ho, ho, ho. Wow, it's a good mixture of sounds like a good mixture of Witcher and 34th Street.
I do like that show. I like the game. I like the storyline. I like that world.
Yeah, the world is very
And
cool.
the fact that you get to interact with the world.
Oh, here's something I was thinking about doing, and I'm getting into building, which is good and fine to get into building, right? It's I might need a different Sharpie.
Yeah.
So I've talked about it a couple of times with other members of my crew and my family about, okay, this is what's happening to the live streams. Do we ever want to take the live streams and edit them down to being a show? Do we ever want to do that? And the overall thing was, no. Let the live streams be a live stream. Let the live stream be interaction with the fans and with the viewers, and let it live on the channel as that. So when you go back to watch it again, you can see all the interaction. Don't actually cut it down. The point behind all this is, the reason why I always wear the same shirt is because when I go into editing something and I've built a project over a period of 3 or 4 days, it all edits together and it all looks fine because I'm wearing the same outfit the whole time. I'm not actually wearing the same shirt. I've got a dozen or more of these. But if the live streams are just gonna be the live stream, I don't have to wear a collared black shirt anymore.
No, you don't.
No.
And I never match.
So there, how's that? It's my Cookie Kaiju shirt.
That is awesome.
So let's get that out of here.
I was going to say, I always feel bad because when I always come, I'm always wearing something different.
No,
and
it's
it's
fine.
Like, oh, now you can see time is passing.
Time is
4
passing.
days to make this project, not just one.
Not just
Very
one.
cool.
So I'm going to try and make it a point to wear a different printed shirt for the live streams, because why not? It's more fun. Yeah, I could plug where the shirt came from, but it's a combination of Cookie Monster and Godzilla, and there was a point in time when I was working at a PBS station, so this really appealed to me.
No, this is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Ripping out the seam out of the
Out of the foam?
foam. It's really not bad.
It's not, so it's not, the perforations aren't just making it fall apart like a coupon or a stamp?
No, they are
Postage
there.
stamp.
And it is fragile.
Well, yeah.
But we're going to glue it, and
Yeah.
it's not like
And then you're going to
shredding.
sew over to get anyway, or no, it's all
No.
just glued. Yeah.
No, it's
Okay.
on foam.
Yeah.
So we're fine.
All right.
I know it's a little messy, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Where I was hemming and hawing,
Man.
going, ugh, but I like it. You know,
Yeah.
do I keep going forward, or do I just grieve the time I already lost on the project and do it the way I want it?
Well, are you actually grieving, or was this a chance to learn?
There you go.
And you actually wanted to try something new with doing it on the heavy felt, because you had that
Yeah.
cool bag.
Yeah, I wanted to play with this, and then both times I went back to foam, but it was worth a try.
Yeah,
I
totally.
just wanted to experiment. I wanted to see what this stuff could do, and I found out. wonder what costumes you can make by just sewing. Anyways.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. No, I'm just trying to think of different chainmail in general.
Okay,
like,
chainmail. Because your statement on its own is all of them.
You can sew millions of costumes, duh. But just the different applications of chainmail in characters.
Okay.
You know, where strategically, like how you have to hide it sometimes.
Okay.
Anyways. Make
So.
it first now, if I wanted to.
Yeah. So this is the length you want. So for the back, I'm going to add a little bit.
It's not set in stone.
Okay.
We're flexible. There is ease. There's about an inch of ease all the way around the entire circumference of that pattern.
Oh, okay.
So because it is a big piece that clamps over,
Right.
it's easier to trim it down than it is to add more.
Right. Okay.
So there is ease built in all the way around that pattern, about a good inch.
Totally
at
cool.
the shoulder, side seam, and the.
I don't know. Santa Cruz is calling me, but it's not a number I've got saved. So.
It's probably one of those bill collectors.
Right. Hello, is the head of the household there? No, we're all dead.
Yeah, the IRS. You have to stay on the phone and give us all your money.
I got two comments. One is, did not see that coming. I assume that's me taking my clothes off on camera. That's what Hashim is saying. Oculus 2003. Odin, with the Pip-Boy prop from your last video, how easy would it be to put a full screen in it? To put a lit screen in it? Probably wouldn't be too bad. Now, these are still at Party City. They're blow molded or rotocast, whichever way it may be. They actually probably more rotocast. But they're actually hollow a little bit. We end up putting a pad to make it fit better. You can't really see.
But you can hear.
You can totally hear. But yeah, it's hollow in there. And so you've got,
How big is a phone screen? Well, an old, tiny,
right.
digital device, you could totally.
You could totally, or if you have a small enough phone that could that's what autocorrect does to me all the time. It corrects phone to phone, and here I'm doing it the other way around. If you have a small enough phone that could actually fit up into this area as well, then you just use this one part of the screen. You could probably cut out the back or something else and get something in here. You've got
that plastic. You could cut it with scissors. It's not like the heaviest duty.
No, it's got a decent body to it. I think this wouldn't be just slice, 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 slice. You're going to want to heat it with a hairdryer and cut into it with a sharp knife.
Well, TLC.
Yep, TLC for sure. I'm going to guess you've got almost 3/4 of an inch. There's at least 5/8 of an inch space in there. Of course, I'm not really accounting for the thickness of the plastic, but you're in there. It's greater than the thickness of most modern phones. How's that? So I think you totally could.
Yeah. There's a million ways to do it.
There's a million ways to do it. And what is this? This particular one is $12.99 at Party City. I think it's the cheapest Pip-Boy you can get off of a rack, at full price.
Yeah, but you're not building it from scratch.
You're not building it from scratch.
How much would you spend on the foam in a rock?
You're getting in that area.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be building with foam and building it from scratch, it's probably gonna cost you more than $12.99. But of course, that's been painted with a bunch of paints, which has got
care,
So it's a trade-off. Yeah.
Control, lots of different reasons of whether you go with something already begun.
Also, never think that buying off the shelf is the bad thing to do, snubby. Maybe it is for, big costume contests. But honestly, if you're starting out a costume, build the part you're really interested in and buy the parts you need to flesh it out.
Seriously.
Next con, fix one of the parts. Yeah, and just keep doing that. And you don't have to wear the same cosplay to every con you go to. As you're inspired to remake a new piece or reweather a piece, or you find something that inspires you, then add to that cosplay and cycle the parts out that you didn't want to begin with but needed. And soon you'll have a big full cosplay. I talk about doing Gwar costumes again in the 90s. That was a 6-year process, making new members and new parts every Halloween. So it's not something that was just done the first time and that's all it was. I try to do that on my show, but I got to make a new video every week. Jade and L. Oh my God, that's an awesome shirt. getting quiet because I'm like, I got to cut on the line. I'll pay attention to the chat dialogue again here in a second. It's going to take me the full 2 hours just to get the basic shape of this done. We're not even going to get it painted today. But
it's going to get cut out.
It's going to get cut out.
Yeah, it started.
It started. Yep. We'll be huffing glue fumes in here in just a minute.
Yeah, I'm going to have to deglue this too. And
right. Oh, yeah. We're totally going to glue everything up. Alrighty. So there's one of those. This is just a basic piece. What we got here? Ms. TV. Hey, Odin, have you ever heard about Russian cosplayers? In Russia, many people visit the Comic-Con, and even American actors come to the festivals. Last year, Ted Stones came to Moscow. Yes, I have heard about Russian cosplayers. I've seen lots of online pictures and Reddit posts and stuff about some fantastic cosplays that have all coming from Russia. I have not been to Russia. I'm not against it. I haven't been there. And yeah, I've heard of them. And I think it's great.
I love it when people are passionate.
Yeah, I love when people are passionate, definitely. And the desire to create isn't bound within a country's borders. So
yeah.
Basically, of course there's Russian cosplayers. William Oakley, love the great content. Shout out to my fellow beginners. Hello, all of us fellow beginners.
You have to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere. And could you say hello to my name, please? Hello, William Oakley. No, I can't do that. I'm sorry. Hitman says hello from Kansas. What is this? Mr. Bentley, you've got a great question about who would win Witcher versus Neo versus Naruto. Neo only has his powers in the Matrix, so he's not even a part of the equation. But
if they were in the Matrix, depends on the arena.
Depends on the arena. Yeah, there you go. I will let you guys hash that out in the comments. But yeah, who would win? Geralt, Neo, or Naruto? Go. I've got more foam to cut.
Yes, you do. Looks like someone said hello from Tennessee. If I
Oh,
read
sweet.
that over your shoulder.
You might have.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all. Yeah. What's the appropriate response?
Tennessee.
I have Tennessee blood. My dad was born in Tennessee.
Hmm.
Oh, sweet, Jake is here. What if we're all in the Matrix? Well, in essence, Jake, we are all in the Matrix, aren't we?
Technically, we're all in a Matrix right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, yeah. Anison's vlogs. Odin, you should make a robot glove arm. It's not a robot glove arm, and it's not here in the building. I moved it out. It's up in my display case. But this Wednesday's video is right along that theme, but it's a more Halloween horror movie based. So I'll leave it up to your imagination to guess what it is I did. No, it's not Saw. Once I say that, I realized, oh yeah, that's what it's going to sound like. Not that it, Saw is bad. I haven't done any Saw props. Yet. And I swear, I think the most Saw I've seen was the parody in Scary Movie.
I dressed up as that little doll thing for Halloween, and I rode up to a party in a tricycle.
Oh, sweet.
I had a tiny tuxedo.
That's awesome.
And I had a little tiny trike, and I rode in the party, and they opened the door and then closed it and said, nope.
Nope.
No, but it was fun.
That's what you're supposed to do, though.
I never saw the movie, but I dressed several people up at a costume shop all the time, and that costume had a tricycle, so...
Right.
I had a cheer no matter where I went. It was fun. So, highly recommend dressing up.
There was a great, I don't remember what channel it was on or if it was Saturday Night Live. I think it was a YouTube channel that did it. It was Jigsaw, if I remember right, is the character's name in the tricycle, who's a little puppet guy. Got hired at a corporate office. So he's like running around a cube farm and trying to use stuff and trying to tease people that are playing at games, and all the other coworkers are annoyed with him. And he like pedals himself into the elevator, and the doors close. You just hear him, could you hit the button, please? Could you hit 4-3, please?
That was a fun outfit. Fun parties.
Yeah, I'm seeing the chat is moving. Nimblues, Geralt, Neo, and Naruto. Kiss, marry, kill. Again, up to you guys. Trying to read through names quickly, see if I recognize someone. Oh, here's Jerry Rigged Props. I know this. And he just says he knows who would win.
I like that name, Jerry Rigged.
Yeah.
That's totally how I feel. I respect that name. Jerry Rigged Props.
Ah, and Jaden L. Hello again from South Dakota, and love the last Patreon post. Sweet. Thank you, Jaden L. That's right. I think telling me that you had joined, and so Jaden knows what Wednesday's video is because I posted it there. Why? Because that's what I try to do for my patrons as much as I can. It seems like a good thing is here's a work in progress, and here's what's going on, and sometimes I surprise them. Yeah, not really. I try not to have secrets from them. Sometimes I surprise them with like, oh yeah, there's a third video this week, like last week.
I know, quite a bit of videos.
Yeah. It was really hard to get my butt in gear to do something new. It's like, I'm kind of done. I kind of want to sit. I kind of want to watch TV. Star Trek Discovery started. I kind of want to watch TV. Christopher George, hello from Kansas. Hello, Kansas. I love your Marvel Avenger props. Who is your favorite Avenger? And have you ever watched the Daredevil Netflix show? Yes, I've watched the Daredevil Netflix show. I haven't seen all of season 3, but I really enjoyed all the Netflix shows. Obviously, some are better than others, but I really enjoyed them all. And so because of that, I'm kind of excited about the Disney Plus MCU shows coming up. They're not going to be as gritty, violent, or bloody as Netflix. That's fine. But I'm excited for that long-form storytelling that the Netflix shows had. Who's my favorite Avenger? Loki. Deal with it.
Never quite got Odin's soft spot for Loki.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just teasing.
It's okay. I can.
Okay.
I can get it.
We're back to square one.
Oh, good. You've actually reset now?
Ready to glue them.
Oh, okay. GP Stevens, how tall are you guys? I'm 6 foot. I'm just 6 foot tall, and
I'm 5'4".
5'4".
I'm a shorty.
But she is actually taller than Joe, who's also on my show regularly, the one who made the Gundam outfit for.
Okay. Is there anything special you did when you glued it? Because you glued these ones last time.
I just did the perimeter. So I did about a brush width or a little less around the outside edges, and then around this. I didn't glue the middle because I didn't want to have seepage and have it glue in crooked and stupid.
Cool.
So that's all I did.
To make sure I kind of copied.
Mm-hmm. And I still managed to kind of pull it weird and stupid, but it wasn't too bad.
Feels like we should do this over paper.
What I'm realizing is William Shakespeare here. I thought it was William Jakespeare, another YouTuber. No offense to William Shakespeare. I just mistaken identity. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this armor too. He says he's excited about this because he loves the video games and the books.
It's a good universe. You know, after the Harry Potter worlds and the Star Wars worlds, and it's just a fun world.
Cool. I have not read the books, and I have not played any of the games because it just hasn't happened. But I've seen videos, and I get it. Actually, I haven't watched the Netflix series. I'm pretty much in the dark on most of this, but I get it. I've read plenty of it. And what is this with? There's like a Witcher Cyberpunk 2077 crossover, like one of the characters or something. I don't know. Okay. Maybe you guys can explain this. It's not Ciri, right? Who is it? Which one is it?
No, it would be the people chasing after her, but I haven't gotten into that yet.
No, it was like Gwennifer or Ciri or one of those was
Yennefer?
Yennefer was
Yennefer?
sorry, I know a Gwennifer. Yeah, it was done with the cyberpunk style, but I thought it was pseudo-canon?
I don't know. I just kind of got into it. I liked the Netflix series. I want to start reading the books. I haven't fully read them. I kind of know what all their stories are in general because I have friends who play the video games.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know everything yet, but it's kind of fun that way because it's not already oversaturated, I guess you could say.
Yeah, there you go. I'll get around to watching the show eventually. I know season 2 is either in production or will be soon, and so it'll happen. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
I just barely caught up on Star Trek: The Discovery.
Yeah.
And I've been a lifelong Star Trek fan.
Waiting for glue to dry.
All right. So the back is just the back, but I need to form this a little bit.
And then we gotta make sure that the front's comfortably.
Right. So I
connected.
think I'm going to get rid of some of these pieces. Although these are big enough, I'm going to hold on to them because I'm a pack rat.
Yeah, those are face mask size.
Yeah, those are size pieces I work with. Oh, okay, canned tuna. Hello again. Is saying Siri is on Cyberpunk 2077. Sweet.
Siri, yeah, I can see that happening.
Janice User. Hi, Odin Makes. How do you come up with the ideas for your show? Dumb luck. No, some of the things are stuff that I'm actually interested in making. That happens a lot. I try to pay attention to what's coming out for both movies and television shows and games, which has made this year really interesting because everything got postponed. Even like phone releases got postponed this year. So there hasn't been as much to pull from. And then I asked for requests, which if you notice, there's a lot of them flying through the chat room right now. I've always asked for those, so I'm never going to be upset for anyone for verbalizing that. But I do pay attention to that as well to see what's coming up because there's a lot more going on than what I'm paying attention to. And there's no way I would pick out on all the right stuff, if you want to think you ever could, if I was only doing what I was interested in. So where do my ideas come from? I pay attention to viewers and I try to pay attention to release schedules. That's kind of where I pull most of my ideas. Dan Does Junk. That's great. That's a YouTube channel name, right? For the Gundam cosplay, what brand of spray paint did you use for the colors? We pretty much almost exclusively use Krylon paints. Here in California, I can only really find those easily at Lowe's. Ace Hardware also carries them. Home Depot seems to have a contract with Rust-Oleum, and so I can't get Krylon there. Why did we use those? Because they dry. I don't know what it is about Rust-Oleum, but they made a nice mixture that's Proposition 65 compliant, and it can take a fortnight to dry, and I don't have that kind of time. So I use Krylon.
Oh, what colors?
Oh, did you actually say colors?
I thought that's what you asked.
What spray paint did I use for the color?
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No,
Thank you. Sorry.
what colors? The ones that closely match the colors the Gundam
Red,
needed.
blue, and yellow.
Yeah, the kind of a salmon pink, the kind of a deep red, the true blue. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it was all really tough. But there was one paint we couldn't get in Krylon, and it was a new spray paint to me that was really fun. So thanks for talking about that.
Oh, okay.
Blick Art Materials is where I found it. It's all over the place. Montana colors. So Montana colors are a spray paint specifically made for graffiti. So assuming that it is an art form graffiti, right, and not vandalism. And I walked off because where's my can of
Which one?
Montana paints? It's one of the gold ones. Here we are. Nope, that's the wrong one. Because all the labels are kind of the same. Oh, that's really amazing. I don't see it at all now. Got a whole shelf over here that I'm banging through, looking through cans of spray paint. Well, I was going to show the camera, but now I'm
Can't find it.
fumbling pretty hard. To my left?
The gold one on the very end. If you are.
Oh, yes, it is.
That was it?
That is it. Yep. I kept missing it.
Really good at I Spy.
I think I was looking for caps, which was a problem.
Oh, I was looking for gold cans.
Good for you. So the paint is called gold. It's Montana gold. So the color isn't gold. The color is actually the rim color here. And this particular spray paint doesn't come with a cap. And this one was the acrylic one, right? Because they have two different ones. There's gold and then there's a black one. And the gold one seemed to dry and set really well on top of Plasti Dip. And it had this gray color, which I wasn't able to find this like medium dark gray color in a Krylon. They either had primer or they had black. There wasn't really a big in between. And the cost is about the same. So it was great because this dried in the Plasti Dip, like I said. The black one they had, which has more UV resistant. It's more of a harsher, not harsher, it's more of a stronger mixture for the paint. That one took a couple of days to fully dry on the shield. But this one was like using Krylon, and it was done in 20 minutes. It was ready, ready to touch really quick.
Yay for good paint chemistry.
Yay, yes. And they designed it so the lids are interchangeable with different spray patterns because you're supposed to do artist spray paint with it, right?
There you go.
So,
sorry, I really don't like it when the caps get all messed
right.
up. Like
So,
that's one of the biggest pet peeves that I have with it.
And then it doesn't have a lid. It's got a little ring that goes inside. So you put the ring on, and then you put the thing on, and you can't spray it. And that's how the cap works. Fancy. Anyway, it was new to me, and I thought it was really cool. Artist spray paint. Yeah. So that's one of the other colors we used. And I will probably slowly cycle out all of my paints as I use them to be this, because it's got a much larger selection of colors. I can go to an art store that's a mile from the shop and buy it. Yeah, I like it. There's my non-sponsored geek out moment over spray paint.
We'll just waste so much time waiting for paint to dry.
Right. Someone says, oh, it is supposed to be, it is pronounced northeast. So northeast, North 34th Street, northeast says, it is pronounced northeast, and gives me a crying happy face. Any tips on how I'd replicate glass when making a suit from scratch? How I'd replicate glass when making a suit from scratch?
Well, plastic?
Right, polycarbonate?
Depends on the application of the glass.
Right, what are we talking?
Are we doing a shield? Are we doing windows or eyeballs?
Or giant domed Prometheus Martian spacesuit helmet? I mean, what?
Is it going to be a globe? Like, what shape is the glass? What do you need?
Are you looking to make it shatter like safety glass? I mean, because you can buy resins for that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, most of the time plastic, that's the safest thing to say.
You want to eat it, they have sugars.
Yeah, they have sugar glass that's edible. Smooth on cells.
Can I have a second pair of hands just to do this? But
as I stick to my fingers.
that's okay. I'm trying not to stick everything to everything.
So Smooth On as a casting company, and they're not the only ones, they're just the first thing that pops into mind. They have some water clear casting materials that if you had a very specific shape you wanted the glass to be, and you were able to make a mold of it, you could do that. I know that my other friends, boy, I'm just blanking on the name, and if he's watching, he's going to be pissed. At Mold Life, also have water clear casting materials. And there was another company out of Southern California I was talking to at one point pre-pandemic about going down and doing stuff with them. They also sell so it's easy to get a hold of a water clear casting medium, a 2-part urethane.
Genuinely depends on the application.
Yeah, generally depends on the application. Adam Savage just did another great video where he upgraded his vacuum forming machine. That'd be a great way to do any kind of visor, 3-dimensional clear thing with a very thin plastic. Yeah, depends on the application. A lot of people are comparing Witcher to being an Assassin's Creed Harry Potter crossover.
All right. No wonder I love the universe. Well, since this is all glued now, I'm just going to glue it to it.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's already stitched.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm digging for the heat gun.
Oh, hi, Toby. How'd you get over here?
He walked.
Oh, he's going back over to his little corner.
There's Bruno, and here comes Toby sneaking in.
Yeah.
Poor dogs have no idea they're on the internet.
Well, they do. Well, not anymore, but I was going to say they had more followers than me.
Okay, let's make sure I get space for stuff here.
I'll move out of your way.
Oh, you're fine. I just have to bring the body form over and mash on it.
Yeah. Go for it.
Actually,
What?
no, I'll do individual pieces because I can control how much heat is on it more.
Yeah, do it by quarters before putting them together.
Yep.
Okay, I can respect that.
Well, I debated though. Oh, right. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
She's stepping over the cord because the plug's on the far that far side of the table, my right, screen left.
I'm just making a mess.
Ian is asking, what is Felicia making? Is it chainmail or something? Yes, it is.
Yes.
There's chainmail pieces on the Witcher armor. And so she's making the squares for the shoulders and for the upper arms. This is the thickest What the Foam, so I've got the heat gun up fairly high. Oops, I just turned it off. Now it's not high. Or now it's high. To try and warm it up so I can actually mash it against the back of the body form to get the kind of the human shape that the armor is supposed to have. It's going to be interesting to do because I'm trying to heat up the whole sheet without burning a corner of it. I'll probably have to do parts.
You're starting with the back?
Yeah, I'm starting with the back for sure.
Okay.
So sorry, I'm the only one wearing a microphone, and I've got the machine that makes noise. And it's not a noise-canceling microphone, so.
Are they like their PJs? I found them at Ross.
Yeah, I can't.
That's okay, I'm reading. Hey,
Please.
Odin,
Yes?
guy with the past predator question, how would you go about making a good, realistic-looking werewolf cosplay costume with, what is that word, digital grade legs, something like that?
Oh, those, yeah. It's talking about the legs where you, like horse legs.
Yeah, where it looks like they're bending the wrong way.
Right.
Well, not wrong way, but-
no, they're walking on their fingertips and their
Yeah.
heels are up in the air.
Didn't we talk about that with like the...
We did last time.
Yeah.
Someone asking about Halloween stuff. I totally faked it when I did that for my Guar costumes. I cut the foam legs to look like that was happening when I was standing normally. William Shakespeare's been working on a werewolf costume, and he made his out of 2x4. And he's able to walk around on them without like an additional wire support assistance, which is pretty cool. I know you can actually get shoes that are kind of made that way, like horse hoof shoes that don't have a heel.
Yeah.
Back to Star Trek, Lieutenant Saru or Commander Saru is wearing those.
I have a pair of heels where instead of having heels, they're high heels with no heel, but it has a little extra support coming from the toe of the foot that sticks back.
Right.
So if you remove a heel and then add the support to the base of the toe and extend it to where the heel would be flat, you could also fake it.
You can fake it that way, yes.
It looks like you're floating, which I think looks amazing.
It does look amazing.
Yeah.
I don't have a good place
What are you
to.
looking for? Oh yeah.
I just need to set that down where it's not going to burn something.
Down in your place.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, there's still a burn spot.
Yeah, well, it doesn't heal. It's warm on my thumb.
Sorry. It's like my hairstylist. Yeah, I feel that spot of my scalp is burnt.
Right, but it's a little warmer than.
A blow dry? Are
A
you
blow
sure?
dryer?
Have you?
It's supposed to be 1800 degrees.
No, I know. I've just have you seen those professional ones
I have.
burn your skin.
All right. It's gonna have to cool too in order to kind of hold its shape.
That's what the cold button is for, honestly.
Oh, are you on cold now?
No.
Oh, okay.
But is there a cold button on here?
Yeah, it's
Yes, I am on cool.
Oh, okay. Then I'm just feeling it cool down then. And being a whiny guy. That sounded like the dogs are shaking spray paint.
They are having fun, that's for sure.
They are having fun.
I pushed number 3, but I can't reach.
Yeah, I can't reach it. And, oh, they're actually getting more into the camera now.
Oh, Bruno's favorite chew toy, Toby.
Right. So it cooled down. So Toby's the guy, the white guy, the white dog, and Bruno's the smaller.
The brown one.
The brown dog, yeah.
Hey, his dog Remy says hi, Bruno and Toby.
Awesome. I do see everyone's requests come flying through. I've made it a habit to not shout out requests because if you think about it, that's all the live stream would be. So I am seeing them. So I'm seeing people saying it repeatedly over and over and over again. It's not like I see every single request, but I do try to keep an eye on this. And there have been times, not every live stream, there have been times I've gone back and read the logs. So I do see your requests. I'm just not shouting them all out because that's all the live stream would be, and how much fun would that be? Now that I'm getting the foam to curve,
Yeah.
it's I don't have a. Oh, so I got a dog cam. I don't have that other cam that I'm used to.
Because now it's Toby and Bruno.
Now it's Toby and Bruno, but. So this is a straight curve on your pattern, but it's ending up, because it's getting tighter here, it's ending up being slanted. So the two pieces come together, we're going to end up having to...
Yeah, but where they come together,
This is where we want to put lacing or Velcro or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also, you have it like really directly on the body.
Right.
Where you have breathing space.
It'll pop out.
Yeah, it'll be like that a little bit.
Oops.
Does that make sense?
It is.
Yeah. So we'll see. It's like you have seam allowance to work.
I have seam allowance, and I have a relative armor shape. So I got one more of these to do. Well, actually, I got 3 more of those to do, but I get to play with the heat gun again and trip over Toby. How's it going?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't quite see him on camera for. Ian Sarver's being really nice. Thank you. I appreciate that you enjoy watching, and I appreciate that you're watching. So thank you. He's just being really complimentary. It's very sweet. The tabletop spot. This is a great comment. No offense, tabletop spot. Literally, when I was little, I used to watch this channel all the time. Thank you, Odin. So you used to watch the Odin Makes channel all the time when you were little? I didn't think my channel's been around that long. That's awesome. But that's going to happen. That's you know, I'm creeping up on year 4 or 5. I'm not sure now. I have to go and look. I started in January 17, right? So I'm creeping up on year 4, completing year 4. So yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you.
That's okay. I have kids who I coach gymnastics to graduating college now.
There you go. Yep.
So there's that.
Right. My kids graduated college. Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking of these kids that I was barely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's gonna happen, right?
It's going to happen. And it's good that it happens. Imagine how much life would suck if you were stuck at one point all the time. There's the fantasy of, oh, that'd be great. But there's the reality of, if you're a kid, you don't have control and you're not going to get to do what you want to do. So actually being a kid for the rest of your life would kind of suck because you're going to be forced in the back seat and you don't get to decide on what you're going to go and do all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Can I have the heat gun again?
No.
Okay, fine.
There you go.
Thank you.
Can I pull power at the same time you run
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Tabletop spot. Oh, okay, you're 11. Right on. So yeah, that's definitely a difference between being little and not. That is absolutely true.
5 years is a big difference.
Sweet. Someone else is saying that they watched since 2017 from Brazil. That's Daniel, and I'll totally massacre the last name. Diagostini? Diagostini. Wow, I can't even. My sight reading is poor.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not even gonna try to.
It's not out of any kind of disrespect that I say people's names wrong. I'm just a product of the American public education system, so. I wouldn't say that. I didn't get no education. All right, Tracy Ritz has got a great question. Newbie cosplayer here. How did you make your template for the Witcher chest piece? So are we talking about the template that I made to cut this piece, or the body form, the torso that's lying on the table?
Flat patterning. It's just a basic bodice front that we then just shorten to where we need.
So that's actually, Felicia is a professional pattern maker, and it is something you can look up how to do the flat patterning, I believe.
Yes, you can. Okay. There are tutorials and there's ways to look up how to do it, but if you don't really have access to it, if the t-shirt fits you and is the right size and isn't like snug on you, you can lift that as a pattern because it's the basic. As long as the shoulders hit where you need your shoulders to hit, because I wouldn't use this shirt on you. Your shoulder hits way below your shoulder spot.
Right. Well, I buy bigger shirts, so they're not tight.
No, I know. But just if you use a t-shirt, notice where it hits on your shoulder. If it hits right at your shoulder joint, use that. Otherwise, mark where that is. But you have a neck, you have a shoulder, you have an armhole, and you have a side seam. And you can lift your pattern from a basic t-shirt. Just notice where your shoulder to shoulder is. Sorry, I'm lacking with the concept.
No, that's fine.
So yeah, if you don't know how to pattern draft and you want to just kind of start with a rough basic bodice pattern and you don't have boobs, you can just lift it from a t-shirt pattern.
So
boobs are a little more complicated in patterning.
So if you do, could you get a friend to help you do like a duct tape pattern? So you put on a t-shirt and then mash the shirt down to fit your body with duct tape.
Duct tape patterns would work, and also using a purchase pattern from like Simplicity, Vogue, Butterick, all of those patterns. They'll have just a basic plain bodice top, and you can use that to adjust from there. They have it in any shirts. They have basic patterns that are just labeled as basic patterns that you can use to manipulate from.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They even have ones that you can cut and sew, where they're like printed on like a webbing, non-fusible webbing fabric. Oh,
okay.
Those ones are great because you can sew those up, see how they fit you, and then rip them apart and use those patterns as reference patterns from there.
That's very cool.
So those tools exist at the fabric store.
I need to set this down again somewhere that's not going to burn.
Do you want to trade sides?
No, not necessarily. That makes sense, but I'll just let this. I'll hang that there and let it hit me in the delicate bits. Well, there's a thought. So for the release of Cyberpunk 2077 video game, which is imminent, right? That's going to be coming out pretty quick. You could do a whole video on how to cosplay with customizable genitals, because Reddit seems to love that. That's a part of the game.
Okay, I don't know anything about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know either. I know it's Cyberpunk, and that means you're able to have mechanical augmentations. or genetically manipulated augmentations, depending on how the Cyberpunk is written. Because the replicants in Blade Runner were biomechanical. They were not, bioengineered. They were grown. They weren't actually. They were still technically androids, I guess, but they weren't, robots.
Is the brown still in the other sewing machine? The brown.
No. What did I do last night with the sewing machine?
Well, we just need brown for that, that's all.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's not. We didn't put.
Here it is. I found it. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's right on top. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why. Because it's on top. Sorry. Mr. Bentley, I could go to sleep to the sound very relaxing. Okay, I wouldn't recommend turning a heat gun on and letting it run all night as a going to sleep sound, but yeah, okay. That's actually why I cut that stuff out in the videos so much. In fact, when I'm making my videos and I'm using a heat gun, same thing. I'm using a heat gun, I'm wearing the microphone, and so it's that level and trying to talk over it. But in post, during editing, we'll turn the heat gun sound down by like -18 decibels, so, or even -22. Just being the scale that the audio is out on the program. So it's easy to talk over it, and you can still kind of hear the music, but you can hear that the heat gun's running, which is important to have those natural sounds in order for the video to feel real. Wow. Northeast is now asking if I've ever used maglev application for floating props. I have not. My electronics foo is weak at best. I pretty much specialize in rewiring flashlights. So no, I haven't tried that. It sounds awesome, but I have not. What's going to be interesting is this is going to end up relaxing, and I'm not going to keep like the back divot in it as much.
I don't think it's a super back thing, and if anything, we can always make this curve so you can.
Right.
That's a natural, yeah.
I've got a decent body shape to it, but I'm just concerned that it's not going to have the real.
Real
you're putting a bunch of swords on it.
Yeah,
so.
no, it's going to be strapped in.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine. But I appreciate that on something that is more just focused. I think it would be a big deal, but like you said, we're going to have swords.
Right.
Oh yeah, we have swords.
We have swords. Now, of course, we could, because you end up putting darts in it, right? And then you can force it into those shapes.
You could, but we're simple.
Yeah, I'm keeping this simple.
Simple today.
Simple. Hey, it's 1 o'clock. That means we've been streaming for an hour.
Seriously, already?
Yeah, seriously, already. So, hey, it's top of the hour, so let's pretend like we're on the radio. Hello, my name is Odin Abbott, and I'm here live streaming with Odin Makes, and I have my special guest.
Felicia here. Hi.
Hello, Felicia. And so the two of us are currently working on a Witcher costume. What we're doing is the basic vanilla Witcher 3 costume that you start with. I'm starting to work on the actual clamshell of the chest armor, and Felicia's working on the...
Finishing up the chainmail pieces of his armor. Is it
right.
Yeah, this is the way.
Whichever way.
Yeah. And
so
these were the ones we finished up last week.
Right.
These are the ones I'm kind of finishing up this week.
So this was supposed to fit a bicep?
No, lower upper arm. This is the upper arm.
Okay.
So upper arm, lower upper arm. And then we're going to have add a little strap.
Add some straps in there.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's it. I'm working with a product called Wet the Foam. This is a very thicker EVA foam. It's still technically an EVA foam, but it's kind of like if EVA foam and Warbler had a weird love child. That's Wet the Foam. And she's got the EVA foam chainmail that's available from Foam Armory, Beniti, and it is literally a craft foamed grade EVA foam. It's a very soft EVA foam that's been die cut into a special pattern that you can then weave to make chainmail. And it's legitimately chainmail, but it's foam, and it's very, very,
it's very fun
cool
to play with.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it, and I'm glad I get to. So there's that.
Okay. Hey, the jacksmith. I use a heat gun to dry my shirt, and I melted a hole into it. That's what heat guns will do, and especially if you're wearing a polyester shirt.
Yeah, nylon. That'll just turn into a giant plastic blob on your skin and give you some permanent
burn.
scarring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very permanent. I mentioned this to you before. I remember. So I worked in a comic shop many years, like '89 to '93. Had a great friend that came into the shop, and he had gotten into an accident screwing around with gasoline in an open flame as a kid. And so the neighbors said it was a fireball. What ended up happening, he was fine because he was wearing a cotton shirt, a cotton hat, cotton underwear, and cotton socks. But he had parachute pants on. So his upper thighs looked like plucked chicken, and his lower calves looked like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Oh.
And he wore shorts all the time, not for the shock effect, but because he didn't have sweat pores anymore and his legs were always hot. But that was because it was plastic clothing, which that's what's going to happen with a heat gun. So yeah, I need to be careful playing with synthetic fabrics and anything really hot.
If you're stuck in a fire, don't wet a towel, cotton towel over you, or wool blankets. Wool blankets are naturally fire retardant.
Okay.
And they will still keep you dry when they're wet, but wool blankets, cotton towels,
right? Cotton towels.
Don't wet.
Don't wet them because you'll just turn into a steam. Boil alive, right?
Yeah, no, but just fire resistant, fire safety.
Okay.
I always thought it was fascinating, all the research that goes into fighter equipment and outfits. So those are usually wool. Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
We can also always fake, although we don't need to in the back, we can always fake other armor. You can lay a secondary piece on top of it, because we're going to cover this with vinyl.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking kind of maybe something stretch, but it's going to get covered in black.
It's going to get covered in a fabric.
Yeah,
of some sort.
Covered.
Okay. So yeah, much like we did the vault suit, we could put pieces on this to give it some dimension if we wanted to.
Yeah,
okay.
I love mixing foam and fabric, especially when you can have those kind of quilted detailing easily.
Right.
Where's my reference photo?
Hey, do you have one printed out?
No, this is just which way my seamings go before I,
okay.
Or put things in place.
Right, because we got a bunch of digital photos on the computer. It's right over here, but I've got the chat window up because somehow I think that's more important. So I'm actually going to do 2 layers of glue on this because of
you want it
the strength. I want it to hold. So I'm going to give that a second to dry, and then I'll do it a second time. And then I'll stick the 2 halves together.
There it is. Okay.
People are arguing over who was Groot. Yeah. Jacob Obert is saying, as any word will tell you, cotton is gold. Because, yeah, welding is another application where you don't wear synthetics.
Cotton breathes.
Cotton breathes.
Wool will keep you warm when it's wet.
And of course, leather will protect you from some of the heat and flame, too.
Cotton also,
briefly.
leather also breathes because it's like skin.
Right.
Because it is skin. So it has the natural,
Cool.
properties.
Good. Initial Quasar 20. Hey Odin, I've got a paint crack on some EVA foam chest piece armor. Is there any way to fix it? So when you're gluing together EVA foam with contact cement specifically, okay, I'm going to make some assumptions here. When you're gluing together foam on a chest piece armor or anything else, like I'm doing here, using contact cement, it all sticks together and looks great, and it's perfect, right? You've done your job and everything fits great, and then you go to use Plastidip to seal it with, which is what I've always advocated using. There's plenty of other things you can use, but it's just been the easily accessible one that I like. So you spray it down with your Plastidip, and then as the Plastidip sets up, that glue seam that was perfect has now opened up and cracked a little, which is, of course, incredibly effing annoying. What's going on there are 2 different things. One, with any kind of dimensional thing you're creating with the foam, you're putting a little bit of stress on that seam, right? So you're curving something around to be, that was a flat sheet, that's curved around to be around your body, and you glued it together with this glue. And then when you come along with Plastidip, Plastidip has the same base solvents that contact cement does. So Plastidip will actually melt the little bit of contact cement that it's touching, and then the tension makes it open up. But it usually doesn't do enough to make it go all the way. I really noticed this trying to make some superhero armor out of yoga mats, which has got even more spring to it than the EVA foam does. How do you fix it? At this point, if you painted it, you're not entirely hosed, but what I've been doing with my helmets is I use a flexible spackle. It's called Alex Fast Dry. It's with the rest of the drywall spackle, but this one has the yellow lid by the Alex brand, the DAP, or 3M. I can kind of see it, it's DAP. Because it's made to be flexible. It's in applications where your foundations are still settling, or things are, or you have reoccurring cracks in houses. It's actually common because it's got a little more give with it, and it dries very quickly. So I've used that to fill those cracks in. If you're starting from scratch, and so you've got your foam glued together, you've got your glue seam, you haven't painted it yet, I have actually taken low temp hot glue, done a bead of hot glue down my glue seam, and then taken the shiny sticker backing from like oversized stickers and smashed down the hot glue to make it as flat as the foam. This is literally what I did on the yoga mat. And then as you peel it up, you work your way down. You can't do it all at once. You don't have enough time or enough sticker stuff. And then when you paint over it with the Plastidip, you've now got a barrier of that hot glue, even though it was really thin, that's separating between the two, and it doesn't crack. And that's worked out really well. Something else I've seen is house paint. I've got some Krylon brand, because it's latex.
Yeah.
So I've got some acrylic house paint, the Krylon brand. This is, Depot carries that. They don't carry the spray paint. And that's available in gloss and flat finish. You brush that on, that doesn't react with the contact cement and your seams won't open up. And it's actually, it doesn't go on as smooth as the Plastidip usually wants to. You can end up with brush marks, but it doesn't have the same horrible smell. It doesn't have the same chemicals in it. And so it's a much more friendly inside of an apartment type of a material to work with. But of course, if you're using this, you're already dealing with those fumes anyway. This is my contact cement.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carter 97's out of context comment, which I agree with. A paint crack does not look like battle damage. Trust me. No, no, it doesn't. When your paint's cracking because the spray paint's actually cracked, or when you've got your foam splitting open, no, it doesn't. It looks like a seam splitting open. You ever have a shirt rip and you got a ripped seam? It just looks like that. It doesn't look like battle damage.
It ain't pretty.
It's not pretty.
Gaff tape.
Gaff tape. We both worked on video sets, so gaff tape, fashion tape, gaff tape.
It has to be pretty to a certain, you know, like you could put all your love and heart into it, and then you're on set. What are you gonna do? Gaff tape.
Gaff tape.
No lipstick tape. Fashion tape.
Clothespins.
Safety pins. Oh, I still have safety pins on.
Oh, you do, of course. What was the other one? Oh, those binder clips, the black bitey clips.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if especially on camera. So if I'm only facing the camera and I've got a shirt that's huge, my whole back can be covered in binder clips, strategically placed to make the front look really good. But if I turn around, I'm gonna look like a pincushion, or
So it
an ankylosaurus or something.
The shot on the I feel like I could do a whole like thing on just like kits for when you're out and about with your costumes. Okay, we have blood kits.
Yep.
We're traveling and we need the stuff to stay together. You have the safety pins, the tapes, the glues, the.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's all going to come from the background of what looks good to the camera. So
Yeah.
if you want to build a cosplay that you can walk around in that looks good to be inspected by the public, some of these techniques aren't going to work because.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you wear a cape, you hide everything.
No, I know.
No
but
capes.
I'm just saying, like, there's fashion emergencies and there's things to do about them.
Absolutely.
To get you through the end of the day. Staples.
Staples.
By the way. Staples.
If you ever want to get a nice crash course learning how to deal with cosplay problems, find out where the cosplay first aid booth is at the con you're going to. Most of them have them. They're usually volunteer run. And the majority of the people that volunteer to be in a cosplay first aid booth, this isn't like medical first aid. It's like, you know, my helmet broke, help me. They're gonna, it's a lot of hot glue, but they're gonna have ideas and really good information on how to fix something that's gonna survive a con.
That's really good to know that resource is there.
Oh, totally, yeah.
I've never been to a con.
Oh, okay.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, SAC Animes has had one. I've hung out at that booth more than once, and actually, I mentioned Gwennifer. That's where I met her. It was at the first aid booth, and that was, yeah. Fun people. Good resource.
Sounds like my crowd.
Yeah. Richard Gonzalez says, "I love Felicia."
Aw, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3,
Jaden L., you have a fantastic technical question. You're asking if TNT Cosplay has a harder shore hardness than HD foam. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know the tech specs of the shore hardnesses of the different foams. TNT Cosplay definitely has firmer foams, and I think their firmest they have I've ordered before, and I do believe that is a denser. Which one are you after?
Knife.
Knife.
The blue one that's pretty right there.
Yeah, that's the sharp one. I do believe they have one that is denser than HD foam, but I don't think it's available in all the different sizes. EVA foam, you can get all kinds of densities. A lot of times it can be used for insole replacements for work boots. Neoprene is used a lot too, but I've seen EVA foam at cobblers. So yeah, you can just ask the TNT Cosplay guys. They'll actually know. They've talked. HD Foam, SKS Props, and TNT Cosplay. It's not like they hate each other. They've actually talked to each other, and I'm sure that TNT Cosplay would be happy to help you and assist you with knowing the full product line that they have, because I've been there. I've talked to the people. There's some fantastic, friendly folks, but I don't know them that well, and I don't have their full catalog memorized.
Disappointed.
I'm sorry.
I thought you would have had the whole catalog.
The whole catalog. No, everything. Oh, uh-oh. I'm disappointed, Felicia. I'm going to have to like sign off and not be on the internet anymore. Canned Tuna is asking, I made a cylindrical shape out of foam, but the inside is hollow, and I want to fill it or put some kind of support to make it more sturdy and give it some heft. What would I suggest?
What's it for, though?
Right. What's the goal?
Are you wearing it? How big is the cylinder?
Yeah.
How much weight do you want?
Right. Is it just like an oversized Harley Quinn hammer? Are you making like a giant top hat, like the mayor from?
Could it be used as a can, like a
right? Yeah.
a food can?
Yeah. You're making a giant
out?
keg. Right.
Yeah. It's more specific, and we can help.
You might be able to stuff it with batting. If the problem is you made a cylinder and it's collapsing a little bit in the middle, you can find batting at the fabric store. It's just spun polyester fill, like what teddy bears are full of. That could work. You could make a cardboard core. You could fill it full of 2-part AB expanding foam, and then it's solid. You know, it's a little expensive, but you can do it. Yeah, it's kind of what you're after.
What's the project?
Sweet. Let's visit. LETZ. Let's visit. Just says good evening. Good evening. I assume you're in Europe. Love your videos, and I'm going to have a go at making that chainsaw, the Evil Dead chainsaw. Ooh. That's cool. I haven't done a tutorial on it, but I've seen guys that have used. There is a toy chainsaw you can get at some Halloween stores that has a blade that actually turns with mechanics, and they've hollowed it out. Evil Dead chainsaw, right? And they've hollowed it out to put the hand inside and move the controls inside, so you can actually make the blade move and be yeah, that type of a chainsaw, which is very cool.
Nice. Altering something that already exists.
Yes. Totally worth doing. SKS Props, they all have a YouTube channel besides being the manufacturer of HD foam. He made a chain sword from 40K and has a free template to go along with it. And he also made the orc version, so it's a little more dinged up, you know, the orc version of a 40K chain sword. So he's got patterns on his videos, so totally go check out what Steve's done too. It's another good resource. So I've got 2 layers on this. I think I've talked long enough, just about.
Glue dried.
Yeah. Now I want to try and get these 2 sides to line up and not.
Yeah.
I'm going to start. I'll start at the bottom, even though I probably should start at the top.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I should start at the top.
You should start at the top because it's more important for the top to align than the bottom.
Right.
So we can trim the bottom easier.
So as I'm gluing these together, I'm trying to line up. I've got them on an angle to each other, using my hands. So I'm not just doing this, because I'll probably end up doing that. So I've got them on an angle to each other, and I've got the corners, so I can touch the corners, and I'm watching the 2 top corners come together, and then I'll fold it down. At least that's my plan. Thing is, this is over 1 foot long, or this is 300 millimeters or so, or more. So the chances of this being perfect all the way down is pretty slim. But I'm trying.
that's pretty good.
And something else I didn't do is I immediately glued it together. This is a straight seam, so the curves that were here just got flattened out because it just got a straight seam in it.
Yeah, we could have darted it out to give it more of a curve, but
yeah,
it's just.
If I had left it on the body form, we laid a ruler down. I mean, we have to do that to the chest and draw a line.
Yeah.
We could actually see what the straight lines are to go together.
Yeah, we could have, and
Yeah.
then it would have darted. But
it's all right.
this is how you learn. You make mistakes.
Yep. And if you have the time and the resources, start over. I usually don't have the patience to start over.
Who got that? Although I did kind of, so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm bigger than a large, but.
Yeah, no, that's a thing.
Okay.
It's the right shape.
So I've seen armor like this, full breastplate armor that was done for stage plays. And as I realize I'm echoing weird into the microphone, what they did is they probably took that cheap armor that you hang on the wall that's decorative, that was really popular many decades ago, and did a basic mold off of it. They took felt and polyester resin you use for fiberglassing, and they made felt fiberglass armor, because if you use actual weave fiberglass, the fibers can stick out and are really abrasive, especially once you put polyester resin on, or any resin. It can actually cut you. And then when it cracks and the small fibers of glass come out, that could be irritating to the skin. That's not going to cause a problem, cause a rash, and be annoying for a week, but you'll heal. So by eliminating the glass portion of it and using felt with the resin, it worked. The actors could fall down. It held up like armor. It wasn't noisy because it's not clanking metal.
That makes a lot of sense.
It was
That's
very
really
cool. Yeah, it was very lightweight. In fact, I was reading that in the original Star Trek, the motion picture, 1979, when you're on Vulcan, you have Spock, and he's talking to Sarek and T'Pau and everyone else in the beginning about being, a Vulcan. He's got that big chest piece he's wearing. He's got giant gemstones on it. It's a big square kind of armor-looking chest piece. That's polyester resin and felt that was done up on top of a buck that they had made. That was just whatever they made, piece of wood or whatever. And that's literally how the costume department did it. And in order to get the filigree, in order to get the raised detail pieces on this chest piece, they took yarn, dipped it in polyester resin, and laid it down on top of it. So when it all hardened up, you just paint it.
That sounds like fun.
Let's visit. Yeah, the Evil Dead chainsaw. Thank you very much. Have a look at the SKS props site, and you're welcome for all the help. And yes, in London. Just guessing, because I'm in California and it's only like 1:20 in the afternoon for me, so I know you're about 8 hours ahead. Nate Nash. Hey Odin, if I was to make Brigette's, that's not Brigette, it's Brigette's shield from Overwatch, where do I start? So that's a huge question. I would absolutely start by amassing as much reference material as I could possibly get my hands on.
Yeah. Research.
All the all the camera angles, screen captures while playing the game. You can find animations of the character spinning around, right? But that's probably not what you're asking. But definitely a lot of research to know what it is you're looking at.
So you start with finding all the reference photos. You break down the photos into pieces, deciding what pieces you need to buy, build, make, find, adjust.
Chances are it's a lot of build for an Overwatch costume, but it's all very stylized.
No, I know, but you can look at it and go, look I can use this base piece that I can, you look at it, you assess what you have to work with, what you already have in your inventory, and what you need to get, kind of like that.
Totally.
So you have to break down the costume into time, energy, effort, and what is priorities,
Right.
If I have this costume but you don't see these little details here, I can totally eliminate them, but these details on the shoulders or somewhere else is like an actual big deal. You can't forget about those. those might be the first priority. You know?
Right. Going back to, you can always add to it again later for your second and third cons, but you got to get the basic down. Right.
Yeah. Do you know who you are going to be?
Yeah, that helps. Otherwise, I would look at the shields in large, what do you call it? The primary polygons, right? In primitive polygons. So I don't know the shield off the top of my head, but is it overall a kite shape? Okay, so I'm starting with this, kind of over-stylized diamond shape that's kind of so thick, and I can ignore the pieces that are stuck on in addition. So this is what I'm starting with. Okay, how do I get that shape? And then how would I cut the facets in order to make it look like it's faceted correctly? And once I've got that figured out, which generally is, I'm going to either cut a bunch of angles on foam pieces and glue them together, or I'll just cut it thick and shave the sides off on my bandsaw, one of the two. And then you start thinking about, how am I going to put the carburetor pieces that go on it? How am I going to put the strap that goes in the back? But definitely find your reference materials, and then don't look at it as a whole, and don't look at the little details as where you start. What's the biggest basic shape? Start there, get that kind of right, then you start adding the details to it.
Yep. Start with the base and build up from there. Your favorite part you want to do the first, like this part looks like fun.
This is I want to do this little tiny piece here, I'll do the rest of it off of it. Then you realize you made the tiny piece too small or too big, and then it's all out of whack. Yeah. Now.
Sounds like from experience, but yeah.
Yeah. Another good material that might be, it's a giant shield. Another material that might be fun is there's that pink and blue poly. Everything's poly, right? Poly is just multi-piece. It's not styrofoam. Right. It's not styrofoam. It's that other expanded blue foam or pink foam, depending on which hardware store you go to. So it's not the beaded styrofoam, but that other stuff. That's easy to cut and shape, and you can make a giant thing out of it that doesn't weigh a ton. And that would be something else you could use to get your basic shape with.
I feel like I build a project about 3 days before I actually build it. Mentally in my head, I'll start chewing on it, thinking about different ways that I'm going to be building it, working on it. And it'll change a million times even when I'm working on it. But mentally just chewing on it. It's a lot of mental thinking.
Oh, it is.
Sit down, have a cup of coffee, and thinking about where am I going to start? I want to make this whole thing, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. What do I need?
I used to do a lot of my thinking when I was driving, windshield time. I'm stuck in traffic. I was commuting. I do this drive every day. It doesn't require 100% of my attention. It requires attention to be safe, but it doesn't require, and so I would kind of background think about how my project's going to fit together while I'm commuting. And I ended up, that became a habit. And now that I don't commute, I do it more in the shower. Same thing. I know how to wash my hair. I don't need to pay that much attention to it. So I'm kind of thinking about what the project for the day is going to be while I'm in the shower. A lot of weird creative thinking that happens. Okay.
I have been ignoring the chat completely.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And so on the back, I was using the heat gun to heat up the foam to try and mash it to be the body shape. Once I saw the shape that I got, this time I'm just forcing the foam, rolling it, compressing it, and it's coming back. It's going to be kind of the same. This is actually a little weaker. But even forming it with heat, if you were to leave your armor in the car, it's going to relax and find its happy medium state with the glue seams, and you won't keep the perfect shape. So don't leave your armor and props unattended in a hot vehicle, because you're going to come back to a science project.
These rulers that I absolutely love, they melt and warp in the heat, and I've lost many a rulers to that car heat. So,
because we're Central Valley, California, right? We're in Sacramento, where it gets to be, there's triple-digit days multiple times throughout the year.
In October.
In October, yes. So if you're in an area that doesn't have that, well, it may not quite be the same. But here, there's very much a concern of leaving stuff in the car. That was actually part of making the shield for me. I made a Captain America shield by stretching foam over a yoga ball. That's a technique I saw on Lost Wax Oz channel. Anyway, I put it in the front seat of the truck for like a week because it was December, so it wasn't that hot. But that was able to park my truck in the sun, and that heated up the foam and got it to be the shape that I wanted. Like fondant, yes.
Now we can fold them over prettily and have sharp corners because I pulled out the excess.
Good for you.
Since it was an issue last time, I figured why not.
Yeah.
The more you know, you learn from making mistakes.
Mm-hmm. You're supposed to anyway.
If you don't learn, you're gonna keep making them.
Yeah. I'm doing a little bit by, you know.
Yeah, I'm appreciating, like, TLC, right?
Right. See how it can. Of course, I'm not looking at the reference material, which is an issue.
Yeah.
I got it basic.
Gotta add the pectorals.
I need to add the pectorals, which means I'm going to need to cut it and add in at least 1 layer or 2 layers to make it bump up.
Monkey squirrels.
To make the monkey squirrels. Yeah. What? Oh yeah.
The pectorals, the monkey squirrels.
Pectorals, the monkey squirrels.
That's what are people saying.
Dan does junk. I plan on making a staff-like weapon prop. Odin, do you know if telescoping metal extension poles are allowed in cons? That's going to depend on the con. Generally speaking, yes. I have heard of cosplayers making the ruby scythe, which is huge, right? Using telescoping poles because some cons have a height limit on props and costumes, and the ruby scythe is over that height limit. So what they would do is telescope the bottom down, pass weapons check, get on the floor, drop it down the 2 extra feet they needed. Now they got the proper sight for photos. But they could also telescope it back up to go in the hallways and move around. Doesn't mean that you won't get in trouble and have a problem, but you're able to get the proper picture. They very well could. Now, if you're only looking to make a telescope so you can, if you're not making like the Predator staff where it actually is supposed to grow in some sort of fantastical, impossible way, I've used the wooden painter's extension poles that just screw together. And I've made a staff that breaks apart that way. I've pulled it out in a previous live stream. I'm going to point off screen where you can't see it. I've got my Gungnir spear that's 7 feet tall and the melty stick from the Grandmaster from Thor. Both of those are built that way to where they will unscrew into sections that are less than 3 feet long. So it'd be very easy to roll up in a moving blanket, put in my car, and they won't get scratched up, and they'll actually fit, or the cab of my truck or whatever. They'll actually fit for transport. In fact, I did the same thing with Quicksilver Babe's rocket-propelled sledgehammer, rocket sledgehammer. I made that break apart into 3 pieces that were less than 20 inches each, so it fit into her Pelican case so she could ship it to Dragon Con from California.
I feel like you just need to go through con rules.
Yeah.
Get very specific, see how you can get around them, and then
exactly, how you can meet them.
Smile and nod and bring chocolate to the people who are checking you in.
Yeah, that could help too. It absolutely comes down to the person who's the person who's giving you the armored check as to how they feel your stuff complies with the rules. Totally. Some cons allow live steel. You could actually take, you know, this sword to a con. I couldn't take this sword to any con in California because none of them allow live steel out here.
By the way, we brought swords today.
Yeah, she's got swords for the Witcher thing. So it all depends on the con. A lot of my local cons around here don't allow any gun prop that has a working trigger or has ever had a working trigger. It's just an easy safety check, right? So whenever I'm making gun props, I just glue a piece of foam on and don't make it work because I don't want to. Why go through the effort of making a prop if you have to go take it out to your car when you get there, right? I mean, if you're doing it for video, that's one thing. That's a totally different animal. But if you're doing it to take it to a public place, you make sure you pass weapons check.
Yeah, there's no point in having. I would try.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've gotten stuck because I had a pair of scissors in my purse, and I'm like, they wanted me to throw them away, and I just couldn't, you know?
Right.
They weren't that special, but you know, like
they're my scissors.
There were scissors and a screwdriver. Like my purse is apparently a lot of the things are considered weapons, but yeah.
Right. Is this a TSA thing?
No.
Like traveling? Oh, okay.
Oh no, it was I think Social Security office.
Oh, yeah, the same.
Somewhere where they
same
checked
thing.
your bag, and I didn't not thinking about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've walked into places with a razor knife in my pocket because that was a daily wear thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, no, I can't have that here. No, I don't want to throw this away. I've had it 20 years.
People don't just have scissors in their purses?
Can I just give you the blade comes out? And I was like, I pull the whole blade out of the mechanism. Here, you can destroy that and throw it away. I just want to keep the handle, please.
Again, the person checking you.
Yeah, the person checking you.
To them.
Right.
It'll be nicer to.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I need to do
So I think
these ones.
if I'm going to make this stay where I'm bending it over, I'm going to need to put some darts into it and glue it because it just won't. It'll go back to being flat.
Yeah, but at least it can.
Yeah. So it's not that big. It's just a couple little tiny ones, and cumulatively, you've sewn, you know what's going on.
Yeah. No.
And how important is that? It may not be important at all. I was enjoying the shape it was making.
Yeah. No. The foam is so much fun because you start to get a three-dimensional object that you can really sculpt, and is not just stuck with a piece of paper or flat. Right. Yeah.
Or sort of like with fabric, where it's going to hang. It's going to be the body it is. The weight of the fabric, right? This actually has like you're saying, more three-dimensional quality.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
totally.
No, you're totally sculpting it, and that's the fun part, I think, really, when you really get it into the shape, and it starts to pop out and be three-dimensional. But you still have to add the pectorals.
Yep. I'll be doing that here in just a second.
Squirrels and
monkey squirrels, and buckles.
Monkeys and squirrels. Okay, I have to glue these on, and I don't really want to, but I will. Hi, Toby. Hi, Toby. Can you go back a little?
Oh, nice. Genwoo Nix, trying to read his comment here, or per comment. Nice to see more people using graffiti-based spray paint. They also do really good primers, and of course have way more colors. Yeah, there's way more colors with the graffiti paints. And suggesting that if someone is looking for a matte spray paint, then Mountain 94 is the way to go. MTN 94, I assume, Montana probably, is the way to go. It's low pressure. Yeah, totally. The Montana paints are also a low pressure, lower flow spray paint because you're supposed to get in and be artsy with it. I really like it.
I have so much of this rubber spent all over me.
Let's Visit, again from London, is asking about Judge Dredd. Totally. I read the 2000 AD comics when I was working at the comic shops. Love the look of Judge Dredd. Love the look of Judge Death. What do I think about them? I think they're great. I thought the Stallone movie was great until he took the helmet off, which means like the first 5 minutes. And the Ace robot was really kind of neat. I haven't seen the Carl Urban one, so I don't know. But no, I like it. I like the looks. I like the giant eagle shoulder pads. I like the helmets. I like the Lawgiver. Yeah, Judge Dredd's cool.
Peek over at your reference photo. Sorry, I just wanted to see.
It's okay. I need to see the reference photo too. So we're going to come. It has to come up. You're all right. Where are we at? I had to put this against the body form too.
Yeah, I know.
So you look at your stuff too.
No, I know. Okay, that answers my questions, but that means I did the wrong one.
I need to do this a little bit.
Okay.
I think I'm going to need to definitely cut some angled pieces that are going to be Nike swishes that are come to a fine point, get wider, and then come to a fine point again in order to get that real three-dimensional pec.
Yeah.
I just need this. Oh, I should probably. No, don't do that. Just do that. Can you do that? Split the screen between the two so we can actually have both up.
So we can have a reference photo and what people are saying?
Right. Jeff 3D Models is saying Felicia's beautiful mind at work, breaking down the build.
Yes, that's most of the work.
It is.
Is analyzing what you have to do.
Carl Davies is coming back. I think it's the same one we gave the. Okay, this is the 9-year-old Kai checking in again. I'm a bit late this time, but I'll rewind and really appreciates Felicia's dress.
Oh, thank you.
If I remember right, are you the one that we gave the what is it when you get advice on the proper ways of swearing last time?
Swearing has been scientifically proven to help deal with stress and pain management.
It does, yeah. Oops.
I'm thinking I probably should just trim this away
would-
now that I think of it.
I would totally cut to the dogs again, but they're at our feet and not on their camera.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's a little bit of Bruno poking into the top there. Not a whole lot of Bruno.
Yeah, Toby's down here with me. He's at my feet.
So we're here.
I keep stepping on him.
Yeah, look at that. So we're going to need to... I need T-pins. That's what I need.
I don't have T-pins.
Yeah, I do.
You have T-pins.
I have T-pins. And where you're covering this with fabric, so if I poke holes in it, it's not going to be the end of the world?
No, yeah, you're fine. We don't have to, but I feel like it's easy enough to.
I think so, and I mean, it's got the leather texture. We can do the heat it up, wad up a ball of aluminum foil, roll it around to get the texture. But I think if we just
Put a finished,
thing on it, it's going to look cleaner.
that this is more interfacing and not our fashion fabric.
Yeah.
interfacing. Yeah. No, I'm there with you on that one.
Okay, that's never going to happen.
What?
Oh, I can't just mash it. I mean, I can, but I don't need to. I'm supposed to be cutting it anyway.
Yeah. You can also dart it if you really would like that shape a little bit better.
Well, I'm going to be making the pec shape, so yes, but it's gonna happen.
Okay, I don't know what you're 100% doing. I just
Oh.
always put in my own opinion.
Well, thank you. I'm trying to figure out with the back. I put the two pieces together and it made it, you know,
Yeah.
a cylinder. I don't want the cylinder, so I'm looking at how this line is going to have to separate, be a dart. How I'm going to need to put where the pec is actually going to have to fall because his pec is here, so it needs to be. You know, where does it need to be?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Where are you at? Where are you trying to go?
Yep, where I'm at, where I'm trying to go. I mean, we got all of about 20 minutes left already. Makes sense. I'm going horse, so.
Hey, we got it cut out of foam.
Got to cut out of foam.
It's patterned. Should I just trim this away and not deal with it? I think I'm gonna just trim this away instead of trying to glue over it. It's glued down, so it's glued all throughout here, so I think just trimming off the edges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Not that I need permission or anything.
No, but
The
you're
second opinion of
asking a
mine.
second opinion
Yeah.
of someone who's played with stuff.
Yeah, who knows what they're talking about? Yeah.
At least pretends like it. Oh, thank you. And this has got, yeah, it's got a little bit of an up. Somebody bought a French curve 1 point.
Oh yeah, French curves. I don't know. Oh, there it is.
I've also got your hip ruler hung up over there too.
Isn't that thing very convenient?
It is.
My mom just bought another one, and I was like, wait, I thought I had this already.
Oh.
Well, because I took hers.
Oh, okay.
Well, technically, she gave it to me.
My mom just bought another one, and I just thought, oh wait, I already have this. So you're automatically planning on taking your mom's new one?
No, my ruler set is my grandma's old
Right.
set, and so I thought I had my mom's, meaning I had my grandma's, and then it's like, why is this ruler here? Oh, you bought a new one to replace what I took. Okay, I'm not going to steal this.
Okay.
Not that I stole in the first place, but
But
Yeah.
it's been gone long enough that mom feels like she needed to get a new one.
yeah.
I did that to my mom too. Not with rulers, but you know, anything.
Yeah.
Apparently when I was very young, the giant soup serving spoons, not the giant soup, but you have the teaspoons and the larger like soup spoons.
Yeah.
Those were the best for digging holes in the backyard for my Hot Wheels because she said, yeah, I had like 3. You know, we had 12, but I've got like 3 now.
Yeah, I can relate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stick and stick.
So I'm sorry it's on the back side of the camera. It's hard for you guys to see. I'm just trying to draw out the pectoral. Yeah, sure. It's a fin. The pec shape.
The squirrel monkey muscle.
The squirrel monkey muscle. Doesn't quite have enough. No, it's okay because the angle comes from the angle piece. If this is the top part.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is definitely that is the shape. Okay.
Yeah. So if I cut this, this becomes the one piece that goes in the top, and it has to come up here a little bit.
Yeah.
This might even have to come in a little to accommodate.
Yeah, I'm
that
thinking
3
this if you start up here and then you dart it down about an inch, and you know, slide it in, and then that'll be come together.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm seeing about an inch. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
It's about an inch. That's my eyeballing it, but
Well, that's fine. Your eyeballing is great. This is. As much as sometimes I throw out a difference of opinion, which is a very nice way to say disagree with you, there's a considerable amount of I should trust you because.
Yeah, that's okay. If you agree to everything, I wouldn't trust your opinion. I'd be like, you're just.
You're just another dang yes man. What a good idea, Felicia. Of course, it's a good idea. Yeah.
Toby didn't think. Oh, Bruno, he didn't think so.
Was Bruno's the one that made the noise?
Yeah, they're both down here at our feet over this side as opposed to that side.
Well, this is where the people are. They're with their pack over here.
Yeah. He liked it that I let him on the table earlier, and it's like, come on.
Yeah. Before the stream started, Bruno was walking around on the table. That's a little scary because it's a concrete floor. I mean, I don't think Bruno's going to fall off, but he is a dog. He's clumsy.
Oh, goofy.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Well,
He's like, "Come on,
dogs don't
play."
bounce.
Bruno bounces.
Okay.
On a trampoline. No,
A
I used to have
trampoline,
a
right.
little small kid's tries trampoline, and he would always go run.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was always so cute. But between them, they sat on it and sat a hole through it. But
Oh, it's their trampoline.
yeah. But it was always so cute to see him go running and
That's cool. Super dog. Someone was asking about favorite cartoon show from when I was young. Not quite the question they asked. For whatever reason, I remember really, really loving Underdog. Hanna-Barbera. This is early 70s, mid 70s cartoon. Hong Kong Phooey, Underdog. So just Trampoline Dog makes me think of it. Yeah. There was a theatrical movie for Underdog. I never saw it because I looked at it and went, yeah.
I think I saw that one. Yeah.
No. Then someone else was talking to me about, was that just last stream, Captain Caveman? Was that last stream or was that something else you're not remembering? So it must have been.
No,
Oh!
I brought up the Tick because that was my favorite superhero.
I wonder if that was
And you
Instagram or I don't know, Discording random place. Someone was talking about Captain Caveman, which was another Hanna-Barbera 60s pseudo hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it had to do with the Fallout 76 because the sledgehammer and Captain Caveman doesn't have a bat, he's got a club, but just talking about that. Anyway.
I'm just going to trim off some of this so I have something to glue to.
I need pliers, I'm going to break my nails.
Trying to get those out.
Yep. And they're doing what they're supposed to do. And I pushed them through, warble of foam. I will match the right side to the left when I get there. Right? Oh, this is the right side. Yeah. Backwards.
Do you need to label it?
No.
Because I would usually like to label mine.
Oh, I can
You-
label.
Okay.
I can, but.
I know, but you get so many little pieces sometimes that it's easier.
So if I put a big R on the left side, then it's Robin. And if I put a big R on the inside, then it's right? And if you put a big L on the left side, then it's Laverne. And you put a, anyway, sorry, I'm trying too hard. No, I've never been, Jacob, no, I have never been on the back end of a pantomime horse costume. I have not done that. I am a horse's ass. I have not cosplayed as a horse's ass. You have?
I have.
Oh, okay.
I worked at a costume shop.
Oh, yeah, of course you have.
We also had like those little sweaters where you get the two-headed sweaters.
Oh, okay.
You know, all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not. But yeah. It wasn't like something I did often, but it happened.
Okay.
Might as well.
Oh, the excitement of cutting foam. All of a sudden I have to pay attention to what I'm doing, and I can't just...
Craft and talk at the same time?
Yeah. I mean, I can. I'm doing it right now, but I'm not paying attention to what's in the chat. Which I'm not saying you have to.
Perfect. Thanks, Odin. There you go.
Oh, good.
Somebody said that.
Awesome. Done. I'm done here. No, actually, we're getting close to like
Yeah.
last 10 minutes.
Yeah. Cool. Might. No, we're not going to have these shoulders done.
No. We're going to be doing this in January.
Well, by the time the next Witcher episode comes
Yeah, there you go.
Season.
Next season. All right, is that...
The next game.
Doesn't have enough slant.
Which slant are you talking about? From where?
The slant here.
Yeah, you're right.
It does not
but-
have enough that slant. That's easy enough. I mean...
Yeah, it looks like it goes up about an inch from where you originally started, so
Well, I either get a whole new piece,
no.
or I can
just tilt it. No, that
just
makes
tilt
sense.
it.
There
Yeah.
you go, and then you got yourself, well, you'd have to trail out that dart, but
Right. I'll just do this line, then
yeah.
the French curve, the difference,
Yeah, yeah. You know what you're doing.
mostly.
Mostly.
That's looking like a... I don't want to overdo it.
Once you have it together, you might be like, oh no, I was right. That happens to me all the time.
I am looking at the bottom. No, it's still not enough. I am looking more at the bottom than the top. I should be looking at the top line, even though it's hidden underneath his straps.
Yeah, they're.
But
The good thing is we are going to add straps, so we can hide things behind the straps too.
oh, this is true.
So, two can play at that game.
Is it really? There it is. Yeah. Yep. XPS foam is the best to sculpt, which is expanded polystyrene foam, probably. Everything's okay, right? Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. No, I'm just double checking.
Okay.
Just making sure that chat slowed down. Of course, we're towards the end of our 2 hours, but the chat slowed down, so I was just making sure that something didn't go wrong.
No, we're just ignoring
Yeah.
the chat section too much. Like painting with boogers.
You absolutely painting with burgers. I haven't refreshed the contact cement in a little bit, so it's getting thick.
It is, but it still works. It's doing its
All right,
job.
that's better. Still might be too much, but it's better.
It might be a bit much, but I think it'll work.
It's really sad. It's hard for me to tell.
You'll know as soon as it's together, though.
Yep. Oh yeah, I ruined that. I was stepping over his tail and I think he got worried. Oh, you. Okay.
I'll have to wait for that to dry.
It's
So what are you doing now?
Oh, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this part here.
Oh, the little 3D detail part.
A little 3D, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
About 12 inches long.
I'm just reading what people are saying.
Good.
Sorry for the imitation. Mag level just fancy.
Yeah, it hasn't updated in a while.
Okay, so people might be talking, but we just can't see it.
I don't know. That's why I was like checking earlier. It's like this thing's still streaming, right?
Says we're on air.
It does.
An hour and 56 minutes, so we're almost to our 2-hour point.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm going to use a thinner foam first. And that's Sintra.
I want to kind of do the curve.
So I need to cut this with a curve because I'm putting too much stress on it to make this happen. It can't be straight. It needs to have more of a Nike swish in order for it to lay right. That's I need to do a little bigger. I need a different, bigger piece. Trying to dig in my scrap pile for don't have it. Yep, the one I have in my hand is tiny. I just need a slightly bigger piece to actually work with. Well, that might be okay. Just something to figure it out with.
What?
Nah, just
So there you go. There's a
that
curved
big.
edge.
oh, cool.
And I just slid it so that it didn't rumple.
Oh, nice.
Slightly overlapped.
Good,
But I
good.
still have to clean up this corner and then we're good. Okay.
This is the longest that the chat's been silent. It's really, which is okay, because I'm not interacting with it, so.
Yeah.
Says we're still says there's 166 people watching, and okay. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, they're like that, right?
Yeah, that looks really good. That looks like a good pet monkey squirrel.
Thank you. A good pet monkey squirrel is hard to come by.
Yeah.
So, let me square this up a little bit. I'm still working on this, but it is 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock.
It is 2 o'clock.
Toby and Bruno are done.
The excitement of being stuck at Odin shop is worn off. Or they're just succumbing to glue fumes, which isn't nearly as funny as I'm trying to make it be.
Nah. They're just chill.
So it's 2 o'clock. This
One?
is the. Yeah, 1. Oh, we weren't on?
No, it was on the dogs.
All right. So it's 2 o'clock. I was originally planning on only going till about 2 o'clock, and what a shock, we're not done. That doesn't surprise me. But it's been a lot of fun to spend a couple hours today, both with Felicia and with all of you, talking about, well, whatever comes up in the chat, and then just general costuming. I'm still working on the chest piece. I'll be doing this again next week, I'm sure. Are you coming back next week?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. So good. So same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be live streaming again next Monday, noon Pacific time till 2 o'clock Pacific time, thereabouts. Chances are good Bruno and Toby will be here with us again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're only working on this project in front of you guys, so you're not missing a thing.
Right.
I know I made the pattern literally a few minutes before we started, but that
Right.
doesn't count.
Exactly. I might. Yeah, I probably won't.
No, you won't, because I...
No, because I have a whole other couple of video projects I got to get done. There's the weekly videos I got to do, and you know, sometimes I want to not craft. Believe it or not, there's the occasion.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oops. There's one piece.
Sweet. Oh, it looks
I think
great.
this looks much better than if we had left it on the felt. As much as I like the idea of the felt,
That's got a really good body to it.
this feels like armor,
Oh, it's
and it
too
feels
tall.
like the photo
Right.
camera.
Camera.
Which one?
I'm sorry, my camera's on a zoom.
I
Maybe
don't
maybe I
think-
should set one up as a real close-up camera.
Okay, so I glued behind this, and I don't think I liked that I glued behind this, because now you can see the
Now you can see the,
chainmail, which would have naturally worn through his...
which should anyway. You don't really want to peel it up, right? Because you glued it down. The only way you could hide it is.
Like, you could, but I just don't think
Seeing
it's
it
going
flat,
to
yeah.
be... I could add another on the top layer over the top,
That
but
would be fine.
I think it looks fine.
Yeah.
I think this actually looks pretty clean, and it can curve without
Sweet.
being all yucky. Anyways, we still have to add the rivets, attach
Right.
the tops to the bottoms, right here like this, and that so that it's flexible and can be the shoulder and upper arm.
Right.
Add the stripe that goes through the upper arm, but you know, it's
Yeah.
getting there.
Absolutely.
Which cameras are where, but yeah.
It's all just that way. Yeah.
Anyways,
It's not a mirror.
no, I know. There's this, you know, there's a lot of cameras.
There's a lot of cameras. Yeah, we've only got 4 hooked up to the stream. We got that camera, this camera, the dog camera, and then this camera. But
Okay, look at, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
We got our lower upper arms, and then our shoulder pieces that were, this one doesn't have its edges, but.
and I'm very slowly working on the chest bit. I'm actually figuring out how to cut the lower portion in order to make the dimensional pecs. But
So we are crafting in between talking.
we are. Spent a little more time actually crafting here this past little bit. We got really quiet.
Yeah.
But still, it's been a lot of fun. You probably know who I am. I'm Odin, and I've got a YouTube channel called Odin Makes. This is
you
my friend.
You probably don't know who I am because I'm never actually on camera. I'm usually on the other side of it. But I'm Felicia. It's nice to meet you guys.
I want to thank you very much for spending the afternoon with us. And like I said, we'll be back at this exact same time right here next week. In the meantime, if you're so inclined, I'm trying to use my social media on a more daily basis. And I'm Odin Abbott on Instagram.
Oh, I'm Ish87 on Instagram. Ish_87.
EESH _. Yeah.
Yeah, and Toby and Bruno are on Instagram too.
In fact, of today's post links both of, all three of them sort of. They share one because they don't mind. But yeah.
Yeah. But it's Toby's Instagram account. We just made it before we had a Bruno.
So I've had trouble signing off before because apparently when you click end stream, then there's this pop-up that says, "Are you sure?" And so I missed that last week. I'm going to try to be a little cleaner today. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again very soon.
See you next week.
Now I'm actually searching for the button because I wasn't prepared.
That's okay.
Dog cam.